Well, I didn't mean to show Aaron then, but hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to our live today. I see some people popping in. Hi, Barb from Nova Scotia. How are you? I'm going to wait just a couple more seconds here as people pop on, and then we will get going with this live. And I see Hero Arts is here on both YouTube and Facebook. Excellent. I see Jen Shirkus in the house, my trade show BFF. Nice to see you, Jen. Hello, everybody. Ooh, now the comments are flying in. Hello, Meg Brooks. She designs on our hops and she's awesome. Hello, Joanne, longtime lover of Hero Arts. That's right. Joanne came to our in-person event a while back at Hero Arts. Everyone says they're doing wonderful. Hello, everybody. So we're here for our My Monthly Hero release party. And I am going to be joined today by a very special guest who is our CEO and owner of the company. His mom founded the company long ago. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in, which I did for a minute ago, which I didn't mean to. But I'm going to show us both and we can get going and talk about our release and everything else. So let's see. Welcome, Aaron. Hello. How are you?
Good. So glad to be here. Thank you, Libby, for hosting this and for including me. This is a lot of fun.
Yes. So Aaron, I think what I would like to do, I'm going to just show the kit real quick to make sure everybody knows what we have this time. And then we'll go through all the products after we chat with Aaron for just a little bit. So while I'm showing the kit, go ahead and get your questions ready for Aaron because he is here to answer anything you'd like. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show our kit. Our main kit this month is really gorgeous. It is this scene straight from the North Pole. So it's a bunch of silhouette type of stamps, but I'll show you a way that you can use them as colored stamps as well. And we also have a video today on our site showing that as well. So it's a 6x8 stamp set with little images to create a North Pole scene with a village, a little house, cute little people who can be feeding the animals or decorating the tree. There's a train, there's Santa and his reindeer, a nice little kind of like a shooting star stamp, some greenery for the bottom edge and a North Pole sign. It also comes with coordinating dies, including dies for the messages, which are 'Tis the Season, Merry Christmas, Sending Holiday Cheer, and Happy Holidays. And then there's a cling background stamp in the kit, which is really great. It's a stamp you'll use all year round because it can be snow, but it also can just be a subtle texture background. There's some glittery paper in the kit, some blue cardstock, and then ink cubes of both sea salt and unicorn inks. And I'll talk about that again in a minute as well. So I'm going to go back to our faces again. Are you ready for that, Aaron?
Yes.
All right. So I see lots of comments while I was saying that. All right. So let's see. Wait for me. You're coming. Where are you coming, Mindy? Are you coming to the North Pole? All right. So Aaron, what should we talk about first? You want to just give a little history of the company, maybe?
Sure. Happy to. I'd love to.
I'm going to make you full screen for a second here.
Right. Great. Libby asked me to talk a bit so she can get organized. So I'm distracting you for a moment. I think many of you know the history of Hero Arts, but for those of you who don't, my mother founded the company back in 1974. Like if you do the math on that, that means we're going to come up on our 50-year anniversary here pretty quickly in 2024, which is pretty exciting. I was, not born for another 30 years. No, okay, so I was there too. But as a little kid, I remember in the early days, given my mom was a school teacher, she was always looking for ways to keep her students excited and energized. And she found that art was the great unifier of eighth graders at the time. And so she was looking for ways to keep them entertained through photography, which was her passion. She was actually a professional photographer before she was a teacher, so an artist. And she was always looking for ways to keep people entertained. And she found what looked like a big, oversized oven in the basement of the school. And it turned out it was a rubber vulcanizer. She didn't know how to use it. She didn't know what that was. Somebody told her about it. She brought it home and she started making rubber stamps in our house. She had me draw a lot of the art. I was 8-year-old, so I was drawing things like superheroes and cows and things like that. She turned it into art and made those into rubber stamps, which she'd bring back to her students at school. And Hero Arts is really born in that way. Literally in our bathroom was where the rubber stamp press sat, because it was the only room in the place with a 3-pronged outlet that could power this vulcanizer. But very quickly, my mom took a year off from school to run her art business, as everybody would call it, all of her friends would call it, your art endeavor. And what was in our bathroom became our garage. What became Hero Arts' next step was then a bigger place. And finally, we started growing in the 80s into a distributed company that sold not only to end users, but also to retailers. The wonderful thing about this industry that I love is that I still meet people who knew my mom back then. I mean, it's shocking to me that, you know, we've been around almost 50 years and people remember those little details that my mom used to produce so many years ago. Pressing rubber, the ink pads even. Some people have brought ink pads to us that are at least 40 years old and continue to work, continue to function. Add a little water to your ink pads, the way that we've designed our dye and hybrid ink, and it continues to work, is what we've been told 40 years on. Crazy. So it's really is a wonderful success story, and I'm just honored to continue on from what my mom's done. Now, fast forward to today, my wife and I run the company together. Laura is our design director. So she's the one responsible for the designs for these kits that you see going on 7 years. This is actually our 7th year Christmas, because our first one was October. And so this is the 7th Christmas year that we've actually created an MMH kit. And of course, now the stamps are very different. Right back in the original days of the company, it was just red rubber. There was nothing else, right? There was no clear. There were stencils, but people didn't really use them the way that they use them today. There was cling. We had cling, but there's definitely no clear. No die cuts. Die cut, the patent for the die cut machines came in the mid 1990s. So that definitely wasn't available. There were like 6 or 8 inks, in the original days, and now, as you can see, we alone have almost 80 different colors of inks. So times have changed, and even with the MMH, times have changed. We started with not wanting to put dyes in our kits originally, because we were like, oh, do everybody use dyes? Does everybody want that? And now that's kind of a mainstay. Stencils, cling, different add-ons, papers now have become a mainstay of what our monthly kit is, the MMH. So that's just a little bit of history for you. I hope that's fun to hear. The thing that I find so engaging about our industry is that many of you have known us for many decades. Just like our average employee has been with us 17 years. Many of our customers, maybe our stampers, many of our retail stores that we used to sell to continue to buy and continue to be a part of the Hero Arts family. What a wonderful industry, right? What a wonderful community. That's why people stamp, I think, is the joy that it comes, the creativity, the mastery, but also the community. And so I just want to say a big shout out to all of you for supporting us, because we feel the love when we put out releases. We really appreciate you joining this Hero Live. Really appreciate all the creativity that you bring, because it makes it worthwhile every month to create a new kit. Speaking about new kits, I do have to say that one of the challenges of our MMH program, given it is 7 years, this is the 7th Christmas October we've had to produce. And we always like making them unique for you. Like, we don't want to repeat. But how many times can you do Christmas? No, many times, obviously, creativity. But it is challenging now that we're 7 years in to be sure that we give you something different and something new, something you haven't seen before, something that really kind of inspires your imagination to create new and different cards. And I think that is really the foundation of how we pick each successive MMH kit, is to try to give you new creativity, different look, something we haven't done before. Gets increasingly hard. And for some reason, this October kit is maybe more challenging, because not everybody's celebrates the same style of religion. Not everybody celebrates the holidays in the same way. our Australian friends, they're in summer while we're going into winter. So there's a number of challenges that come with the October kit in November as well that make it exciting and interesting and more enjoyable in some ways and more challenging to do each year. So I hope you enjoy this one. The North Pole really was what kind of started off the theme. We did kind of a Nordic last year, so we wanted to do something different this year. And the North Pole is something that, especially as Californians, my wife and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. It doesn't snow here, but we love the idea of snow. And so we always try to come up with things that are universal, despite the fact that we don't have snow. We've got to drive about 3 hours to Lake Tahoe to get to the snow. And so that too is a wonderful, fun challenge. So North Pole is really this release, as Libby will talk extensively about.
Yes. So Aaron, I saw somebody in the comments mentioned, is it named Hero Arts because you used to draw superheroes? Do you want to say why it's actually called Hero Arts? Can I tell that
Sure.
story?
Yeah, that's a common question, and I think that is one of the reasons. My mom always thought that Hero Arts was kind of like a hero in her life because she didn't know that was her calling, but really found joy and creativity in starting the company. But really, the origin of the name comes most from a children's book that my mother wrote. She, in 1974, started being known as the Stamp Lady, which I think is quite funny. And so that was going to be the name of the company, the Stamp Lady, before she actually named the company. But during that year, she helped illustrate a children's book. And the protagonist in the book was named Hero. A girl named Hero is the name of the book. And Hero was fighting against the candy monster who was trying to rot the teeth of children. And so a girl named Hero fought against that by helping kids brush teeth and not eat as much candy. And my mother illustrated the book all with rubber stamps. So she actually created the rubber stamps and then stamped out the book. That was the idea, is that you would actually stamp the book. They ended up printing it after about, 50 copies because it was too hard to stamp out all the images. But that book, A Girl Named Hero, really inspired my mom. And I think that in the writing, she kind of identified with Hero as her. So it's almost like Jackie Arts, which is my mom's name, Jackie. So Hero Arts, Jackie Arts, kind of that was how the company came to be. Design-wise, it's a great name too, because Hero is 4 letters and Arts are 4 letters, and so it just worked out graphically that it was a beautiful name for a logo and a brand. We now have some trouble with using the name Hero Arts. I'm going to tell a very kind of funny story that I find, and that is that Hero Arts is, the first name Hero. A lot of people use that in other things, and sometimes we think of ourselves as, Hero Hearts, or we name products Hero Scapes or Hero Paste. It's not as easy to do that as you might think. We actually try to name things, just the hero part, but given so many superhero companies are out there, you can't really do that. So Hero Arts is the name, even though at the time my mom did consider naming the company Hero.
And isn't there a website that's Hero Rats? So if somebody makes a typo and does Hero Rats, that's actually a thing.
Yes. Yeah, we actually registered that domain many years ago because one of our webmasters said, hey, somebody's going to mistype your name, so we should do all the natural misspellings of the name. So I think we did HREO Arts, and we did Hero Rats. We registered those domains. So if you type that in, you actually can get to Hero Arts. It's a very common practice for names to be sure that nobody mistypes. And it turns out there is a Hero Rat organization. That's not their name, but they have rats that they train to sniff out, I guess, bombs in
That's amazing.
in places where landmines have been set, and these rats are heroes. And so by accident, we registered a name, Hero Rats, without realizing that we were taking somebody else's name. So.
Yep. Let's see. I think I had another thing I wanted to ask you from the comments, and I'm now forgetting what it was. Oh, Paula says, thank you for staying open during COVID. I know that was not an easy time when you and Laura basically were doing everything, packing the boxes and shipping them out and everything.
Yeah. It is funny. When I started working for the company, because any small business, people will tell you that everybody does everything. And I started, as a high schooler over the summers, I started packing and shipping and doing inventory. So I know how to do all the various functions of the company. I even cut rubber, I pressed rubber. So I know how to do everything. And during COVID, Laura and I didn't want to endanger other people, obviously endanger the staff. We wanted to keep everybody safe. And yet, it was a challenging time. I mean, financially, it's very difficult to continue to pay your overhead and rent. And we wanted to continue to pay all of our employees during that time because they're struggling like anybody else. So in order to do that, my wife and I and our son and daughter went in, and we were the shippers and the packers and the pullers and the accountants. And we did everything that you needed to do by being in location as opposed to the stuff that you could do online. And so in those early months, April, May, and June, if you got any orders shipped, and we didn't ship as many as our current company. In fact, we shipped about 1/20th, but nonetheless, we got some out. And talking about community, what a wonderful tribute to our industry and to all of you. Continue to support companies like Hero Arts and everybody else. We got so much love from all of you, thanking us for everything we could do. No problem, wait, ship when you can, be safe. And so it brings tears to your eyes how much support, how much love that we got during that time. And we really appreciate that. I mean, we're here today because of you, because of that support, because we couldn't have made it through like any of the stamp companies in this industry. We really probably couldn't have made it through the COVID dark days without that help and without knowing that you were cheering for us to continue to work hard, obviously to be safe, but to be able to come back and be a company again, which, luckily starting in June, we were able to do.
Yeah, not only were you guys doing everything, wearing all the hats, getting all the boxes out, but our customers were making it even harder for you because they placed so many orders, which was wonderful.
It's true. Yeah.
So I see on here, let's see, I'm going to put up on the screen. Johnny says, love the October kit, especially because the dies for all the stamps are included. Everybody give a shout out if you love that we have dies for the messages, because I rallied hard on behalf of stampers everywhere for that to happen. So I'm happy that they're there as well. Let me see if there's any specific Aaron questions. Oh, how did you meet your wife? There's one. Was she involved in the company prior to you meeting her?
No, it's actually it's a good question. I don't want to use the word sorted. What's the right word to use? Anyway, we actually went to high school together, but because it's such a big high school, we never met. Revisionist history say that I admired her from afar. But that, of course, is not true. I didn't actually meet her until my fourth year in college here's the sorted part, when my ex-girlfriend at the time, we were still on good enough terms for her to ask me to help her move into an apartment. And so I was helping my ex-girlfriend, Lori, move into an apartment. And she knocked on the door, and her roommate, Laura, opened the door, my wife-to-be. And we met for the first time. And the funny thing is that Lori also went to Berkeley High with us. And I knew Lori from Berkeley High. And Lori said, hey, both of you went to Berkeley High. Do you guys recognize each other? And both of us said, oh, yeah, I recognize you. And both of us are thinking in our mind, which we later told each other, nope, no memory at all. Never seen you in my life. So I'd like to say romantically that I recognized her in the halls of high school, but I've never seen her. So 4 years into college, I met her, and we started dating after we both graduated and have been together ever since, going on 32 years of marriage.
That's a Hero Art story I didn't know, so that's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Joss Mary asked if your kids craft, and one day you should go live with me and make a card. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So you have a son. Did he ever craft when he was younger?
He did. He's actually pretty impressive crafter, although not necessarily in stamping. I think it's, he's used the products before, but he definitely likes coloring and ink and painting, mixed media, I would say.
That's great.
Two daughters also are artists, crafty, but neither of them went that direction. So they've all helped and been a part of the company and enjoy things. Actually, Morgan, my oldest, she does copywriting for us. Lexi, the medium one, was there pulling with us during COVID, although lives in LA now. And Ethan actually is in graduate school in England, so he's not around, but he takes stamps with him and comes back and gets some when he's here. Although generally to give to other people, he doesn't really use them that much anymore. My wife's really the artist of the group. I mean, she really keeps the art going in the family, and she's a photographer. You can actually see a lot of the photography stored behind my head. Photos. I know that we don't have those anymore, but
she takes beautiful photographs. I've seen some of her work. It's gorgeous.
She does. And one of the great things is when we first started dating, college was over and we ended up taking a European trip, and she had studied art history. And so, man, I mean, how wonderful it was traveling the museums of Europe as someone who knew about the paintings and the sculptures. And I think that Laura really brings that to the company now, brings that artist perspective, really helps her in doing the research for all the MMHs that we do, because we do extensive research through Pinterest, social media, and other venues, art. We look at things like home decor in order to really get a feel for colors. And given Laura's artistic eye and photographic eye, it really adds a kind of beautiful element to how the design team is able to approach creating products for card making and stamping and mixed media.
Yes. So I'm just seeing lots of really kind, kind comments in here about, thank you for your dedication and commitment to your staff and stamping community during the COVID times. A lot of messages like that. Essie says that the stamping community was her lifeline during the lockdowns. I think a lot of people feel like that. Pamela is saying that she always gets a personal reply to an email if she has a question. She loves that. Our customer service is fantastic. Shout out to Debbie and to Sandy and May and Jane Zell. They do such a great job communicating with all of our customers. So,
absolutely, yeah. And I think thank you for saying that. I think that you were our lifeline too, knowing that COVID were kind of dark times, sad times, and I think that we all come together for that joy and that escape in crafting. And that's a wonderful part of it. And it helps us kind of take that reprieve in that moment. But at the same time, we also care about each other as a community. And I think that people really come together over the years, not just around COVID, but since there's been weather disasters like, the terrible damage that's happened in Hurricane Ian in Florida. That's where I think our community is so wonderful coming together. We really care about those things. We always give back as much as we can. Donations have become a very important part, and giving a very important part, because after all, we're family. Like, we think of our employees as family. Again, like I said, 17 years, it's literally family. Like my wife and I, my brother and sister work at the company, right? Many people have, husbands and wives and sons and daughters that work at Hero Arts. And similarly with all of you, we've known you for a long time, know the retailers or the sales reps for so many years. If anybody's hurting in our industry or our community, I think it really is on our shoulders to come together, find that joy, and find that community that goes towards helping people and really supporting people in everything we do. And so creativity is one way to support people, but also working to give back, I think, is very important. It's also why we're a green certified company. Why would I have resins and chemicals and things like that in the products that we make and expose our employees to that? Why would we send that out to you? And so we have been dedicated over the decades to remove those things. We have no resins and no chemicals that are on any of the toxicity lists. California has the most rigorous standards in the nation, far higher than the federal, and we don't have anything listed on that, what's called Prop 65. All of our products are listed as non-toxic. Many of our products are all natural, like our red rubber, our sustainable wood blocks. We make by hand, and we've eliminated all resins on all chemicals, even the use of water in our own facility, for the most part. And that, I'm extremely proud of that. And I think that's because it's that family ethic of helping, building community, and really supporting each other.
Yep, and it makes me proud to work for you and Laura and this company because of the where your heart is and everything, the giving and the green commitment, all of it. Let's see, I just had one. Oh shoot, I lost what I was going to post. Oh, Rachel mentioned she didn't know that Hero Arts was a family business. I mean, for sure we're a family business. There's so many related people within the company. It's kind of funny at times.
It's true.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but Aaron's brother and sister both work for the company, and 2 people on our design team are twin brothers. We have mothers and daughters working in the warehouse, and brothers and dads, I think. I don't know, but lots of family related people in this company for sure.
And you've been working with us just for a couple of years, Libby, right?
Since 2009.
Right.
That's
right. I mean, so
crazy how long it's been.
that's a common story, right? I
Mhm.
mean, so Libby has been working and contributing and being a part of the family for, right, going on 14 years. And I think that that's a very common story in Hero Arts, not because, I mean, I wish, not because we pay more than other companies, not because it's, there's many more benefits. It's because I think that is that family ethic, that family business, that family structure that really, I think we try to bring joy every day to what we do, give everybody a voice, because in so many ways, I think of it as a community. And without that, I think it'd be less fun to work there. And I think that would show in what we did and what we
For sure.
do. Live events like this, on the MMH kit that has just come out, on the Christmas catalog, there wouldn't be that element of creativity, that element of inspiration, that element of joy without it.
Yes, I agree completely. There's a lot of great comments coming in, too many for me to read them all. But Aaron, after we're done with this live, you're going to have to go back and read all of these because lots of really heartwarming things are being said. So thank you, everybody. Really appreciate that. This one's a funny one. Diane asks, does Aaron know the purple rule you enforce? I'm not sure he does. He knows I like purple, but I always joke that our creative team is in trouble if they don't make purple cards for me. So it's just a joke, obviously, but it's fun.
Yes.
Daniel usually comes through and sends me purple cards. So, oh, you guys, thank you for saying nice things about me too. That's really nice. Let's see. I failed to mention Wayne. Brianne mentioned she's also a retail customer of ours, a wholesale customer. And she mentioned Wayne's always great when she has to communicate with him as well in our customer service and accounting. Let's see. Yes, you're awesome too, Tammy. I will say that as well. She is actually here in this live with us handling the comments as Hero Art. So she's a great part of this team as well. And she's our social
Tammy's
media
been with us
partner.
for many years too.
Yes, even longer than me. I think she's been at the company just a little bit longer than me. Dana Joy is on our creative team, and she's helped with our Unity products. And she says she loves being part of the Hero Arts family. Creating with Hero Arts brings me joy. And having you on our team brings us joy, Dana, for sure. Everyone knows the purple rule, right? Thanks, Tammy. Oh, Libby in purple. That's what Jen Shirka says. She's not a purple fan, and she has to deal with me. And there's Daniel. Hi, Daniel. Oh, I failed on the purple front this month. Daniel, do I have to fire you? I'm just kidding. All right. Anything else here? Do you want to just talk about you mentioned we started My Monthly Hero 7 years ago. How did that come about? Why did we start doing kits, or how did we decide to start doing kits, or is there anything there to talk about?
Sure. Yes. I mean, the reality is that over the years, I think Hero Arts being, going on almost 50 years now, you have to change your business model. You have to evolve. It's wonderful to see, retailers on this feed and being a part of this, because retailers, selling wholesale directly to independent stores, was really the core of what Hero Arts did and was the ethic of why we were a company. Our printed catalogs, which we continue to do to this day, really are a throwback to that era where that's the way you would market. There wasn't social media like it is today. There wasn't the ability to really have YouTube at the level that it is now. And thus education was mostly done in stores through classes. You'd go to your local store and take a class. You'd hang out on a Friday night. You'd do various events, and instead of a live like this, that's where we would all meet and stamp together and get that real creativity. So our catalogs were rich with not only product but also ideas. We would have a whole card index in the back that would be 8 or 10 pages describing how to make each card, because that's what really gave retailers inspiration to give their classes. Really, independent retailers were the engine of that community for so many of us and so much of our industry. And with the rise of Amazon and e-commerce, I won't just blame Amazon, but I'm going to blame them. So many stores got challenged. Bookstores, obviously first, but then independent stamp stores and craft stores as well. And so as stores started disappearing, not being able to make it or going online, that community was lost. That community really started to suffer. And so in order to best support the business that we had with the declining number of independents that we sold to, we had to look to other avenues. We had to look to some larger stores like Joann stores, for example, who, say what you will, there's a lot of reasons not to like Joann. They've been a great partner for many years because I think they give us the access to new customers that the independents used to find all the time who would just walk into their store. But given there's fewer of them, we had to find a new direction. So Joann stores came in the 2000s. And then we realized, okay, wait a minute. So many people consume. Someone like Gina Kay has been doing this for years with her YouTube. She's one of the original YouTube stars in our industry, right? She was so successful doing that. And Libby, Laura, Tammy, all of us were trying to find new ways to better reach people, better build that online community. And we came up with the idea of, a monthly kit, which seemed impossible, absolutely impossible. We have to do this every month, right? Because we would only really do a catalog at the beginning of the year, and then maybe a supplement in the summer, and then maybe a supplement for Christmas. So we had 3 releases, with one in January really being the biggest one, because that coordinated with trade shows where you went and saw independent retailers. And so going to the idea of going every month was really a way to build that community, to give people reasons to stamp, even if they didn't have a store near them. Maybe they had a Joann store, but Joann stores only had a few items, right? So maybe they didn't have as much. And so Joann was a great partner to help people get started. But if you wanted to step it up and find more product and they didn't have an independent near you, then the whole monthly kit program became something that we decided was necessary to help grow the industry, keep the passion of our customers, and really meet you where you were going. Maybe not all of you, a lot of you still probably have an independent store near you, which is great. Some people don't. A lot of you probably shop at Joann, which is great. Probably others don't. And this was an opportunity to just give you another avenue for really finding us. And it was always important for us to be sure that we invested in a retailer in this program as well. So we do have one kit that's only available through us. So you do have to come to heroarts.com for that. But all the add-ons are shipped out to the independent retailers early so that they have it to launch the same time we launch. So between 10 and 15 additional add-ons, great for October, by the way. I just love them. They're some of my favorite. In fact, I love this shirt because it's so useful. I think it matches
background.
Background shirt. So some of the backgrounds are just wonderful. I think that the kind of that connection to have retailers be able to offer that too. You can still ideally go in store.
Right.
And if your independent retailer local near you doesn't have our monthly release, then tell them they should, because I
Right.
think it's a great connection. They can get involved in a live like this. They can get inspiration. They can step it up with the add-ons. Those are always available, even if the kit sells out and isn't available. All those add-ons continue to be part of our line and something that we sell that retailers can carry. We do a lot of uh, romance around that, a lot of samples around that. Daniel, all the creative team, Dana, all the creative team members produce, beautiful cards that go, or beautiful projects that really go with those add-ons in addition to the kit. And so that really endures even past October if the kit, for example, sells out, which we're getting close on.
Yeah, this one's
And
doing
so
really well,
that's,
guys, so don't wait to buy
yeah.
it. I think we're gonna have a sellout soon. So, I just wanna add, we love our independent retailers so much, and if you have one near you, a brick and mortar store that you can go to it, support them because they are a treasure, and there are so many less now than when Hero Art started years and years ago. They give classes, they do demos, they have expansive product knowledge, so they're great. But I think, like you mentioned, a lot of people don't have one near them, sadly. And if they shop Joann, I think that's a good entry level store for stamping. But you'll soon find that you need to find a more independent source for your goodies because Joann only has so much. And then you'll want to find a brick and mortar store or a good website to shop from. So love it all. And I love our kits too that are from us. I think back when we started in 2015, there weren't nearly as many kits out there either. I think everyone saw, wow, those Hero Arts kits, those are pretty cool. We should do some of those as well. But Tammy mentioned in the comments, so if you've been with us for a while, you know that every October on the anniversary of our kit program, I don't think we did this the first couple of years, but we've done it the last several. We do a favorite kit poll where we have you vote of which is your favorite kit from the past 12 months, the past year. And then that kit, the winning kit, well, first of all, there's prizes for you, of course, but the winning kit becomes a product in our next big catalog release. So the stamps and dies come back. So when things are sold out and you didn't get it and you're sad, those ones will come back in our catalog. So it's just one stamp and die from our whole year of kits. Otherwise, they're exclusive and they never come back, the main stamps and dies. And so that voting is going to begin on October 12th. So watch for that and get your votes in. And we always behind the scenes love to guess what's going to be the favorite kit. And sometimes we know for sure. And sometimes we're kind of surprised at what ends up winning. So it's really fun to see. And Serena says her favorite never wins. Too bad. Sorry to hear that. Michelle Lupton just came in. She's joining us from Australia. She's on our global team and she runs the Stay Crafty with a blog named Hero Challenge, which, by the way, Aaron mentioned a girl named Hero was the name that inspired our company name, the name of that book. And a blog named Hero was named that because they had heard this story from Aaron years and years ago and were inspired to name the blog a similar way. Gail saying she loves our stamp along events. That's awesome. Thank you, Gail. And I love that you keep coming to them. Our next one is the first weekend in November 4th through 6th. And you can still register for it if you want to join us. It's only, what is it now? The price went up, I think $45 to join us. And it's a whole weekend of stamping with some amazing teachers. Let's see. I am still going to go through this month's release. I know we're very far into this live. I usually do that right away, but it was so fun talking with Aaron. So if you guys have any other questions for Aaron before we start going into the products, get them in here. And there's been a lot of comments. I'm sorry if I've missed any, but ask it again if you have a burning question so that I can make sure that I don't miss it. But so many nice comments. And again, thank you guys for all the kind things you're saying. It is so heartwarming and nice to read this. Might get a little teary. Let's see. The poll's so fun. Yes, for sure. Yeah, Sharon, we love to try to show you lots of ways to use our stamps and dies. That's why we like to do these lives. So much fun. And it says, please come back again, Aaron. We're going to have you back again on a future live. And if you just joined, we're like 40 minutes in. If you just joined, you can always, after this ends, go back and watch on replay to see the entire live that we've had so far. The Family History, such a great company for sure. And a giveaway, we're going to give a gift card away at the end of this live. So keep those comments coming. That's how we know you're here and how we enter you into the gift card drawing. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Somebody was asking in the comments about what was our first kit. And there was guesses that it was poinsettias, and that's right. And I actually have it right here. This was our very first kit back in October of 2015. It had some ink cubes, and it had, let me put, I think I have another one that's not messed up. This was the first stamp set. It was a layering poinsettia set. So, and it was 4x6. We still do 4x6s sometimes, but often our kits are now 6x8 stamp set. Yeah, I have every single kit. Like if you wanted to know, and I have them all labeled. So if you wanted to say, Libby, what was in September of 2018? I could go tell you right now. So, in my vast craft room.
And the story of that kit is funny. We had prepared obviously for excitement around the kit. We didn't know though. We didn't know if people would be interested. And so we launched that kit, I think that first Monday of October, 2015. Lisa Spangler at that time, some of you probably know her and remember her being a part of Hero Art. She was our technical person, and the website crashed because of the popularity of the kit. It was such a wonderful and scary thing to go through because we were like so excited that so many people are interested, and the website's down. And we've since kind of guarded against problems like that, but that was something that took us a while to do. That's the only kit in 7 years we ever reordered. In other words, what happened was that people started ordering. That first day we sold what we were thinking was our limit, but because the website crashed and some people couldn't get through, we allowed after about a week that people could reorder again, and then we'd send it late. So that kit actually didn't arrive until I think the end of October, right around Halloween. And then didn't we skip a kit in order to catch up? I think we skipped the January kit or something.
It was February because we again had some crashing issues in January because it was a really great Valentine's themed kit. And yeah, then we skipped February because we're like, we need to regroup. But that was the only one out of the whole 7-year history, the only month we've ever skipped. Yeah, it says, how has the quantity of monthly kits changed since first one? I'll just roughly tell you it's gone up, obviously. That first kit, we thought we had plenty to sell, and then they sold out like in a minute. So, and then the website issues and everything else as well.
Yeah, I think we forecasted 400.
Was it even that much? I was thinking like 250. So.
Yeah, maybe. We just didn't know. And now I think, you've had kits at 5,500 units. And so it's obviously grown in excitement. Different times of the year, it's different because, sometimes June and July is slow because people are distracted. They're on vacation, they're doing other things. Sometimes December can be slow because, it's the holidays and there's other things to work on. And then there's just some months that always are popular. April, January, April, October. Those are the 4 big months that always seem to sell well. And why on the calendar those are the ones that sell. I think it's probably because of the theme. January being Valentine's, October being winter, holiday, Christmas focused, and April is when we try to, I think, take flyers on things. The April kit that I remember that was so popular was Safari, and we were all thinking that's never going to sell. They're silhouettes. It's not that well illustrated. The silhouette doesn't have a complex illustration where something like the poinsettia was so detailed. No, that was a sellout in like 4 hours. Way under suggested that. Customers were actually kind of a little annoyed that they couldn't get it if they didn't come right away because it sold out so quickly.
Right. That's the thing. We don't have crystal balls, so it's we really want to try to predict the best way we can about how many will sell. But Carla mentioned she often they're sold out before you can get them, and that's why we start a subscription program so that you never miss a kit. So you can subscribe, and then it helps us forecast honestly, and then it also makes it for sure that you will get a kit if you're subscribed to them. So
yeah, and once we launched the subscription, and that was a number of months later after the original launch, that was a way to, just like Libby said, guard against the people who really want the kits to be sure that they get them because your kit's reserved. You've subscribed, we've already planned for that. And so we could make a mistake on the non-subscription quantities, like how many above the subscription should we order?
Right.
If we get it wrong, it sucks, because we want to try to at least have it sell for a week or two. Is why we forecast, but the subscription guarded against people being disappointed and not being able to get a kit if they want to get it on a regular basis.
So not related to kids, but I've seen this question a couple times. So I want to just answer it. It says, will your store open again in California? Do we even know the answer to that right now?
Yes, we're hoping to. I will give you a little bit of background on that, and that is that we were hoping to open a more like a maker center, a little like one of the wonderful independent stores near you that you might still have, but maybe have gone into business that I remember visiting throughout the 90s and the 2000s, where just expansive spaces where you could come and sit on a couch, you could sit at a table, you could stand up at a workplace. And so we were in the process of renting and building a makerspace, maybe even had a local partner who was serving coffee. Unfortunately, they've gone out of business now, but that was supposed to be a part of it. So it was like a little coffee shop and makerspace in our lobby. But because of COVID, that changed, and we still have that in the back of our minds, but we really have no date of when we're going to do it. I will say that we are looking at trying a kind of factory store event later this year, tentatively set for December 3rd. You heard that here first. We haven't told anybody about that yet.
He's still
And
here.
we're looking at a schedule for 2023 of how to open the store again, and really maybe even give classes, get Libby and Tammy to come out and do it live in person.
Yeah.
We could live feed it still, but maybe we'd be all at Hero Arts for the people who are local and able to come by.
Yes, we did that before
And
in the before COVID. We've done a
yeah,
couple of class events right there in the lobby of the warehouse, and it's so much fun. I loved it. All you local and some not local. I know Joanne was here in the comments earlier. I think she lives in Texas, and she flew in for our class at the Hero Arts facility. So that was fun. So I would love to go out to California and do that again. I don't know if you guys know, but California is where Hero Arts is located. I'm in Georgia on the opposite side of the world, not the world, but the country. And I love it when I get to go to Hero Arts, and it's been a long time because of the pandemic and everything else. So
yeah, and our facility is a historic building. It's an
that's so
old
cool.
cannery. It's a really beautiful building, and so when we were looking at the makerspace, there are certain limits that the city puts on of how you can decorate it and what you can paint it. And purple was not on the list that we could paint the
Dang it.
store. So I was worried that Libby would not be happy with that, but hopefully we can figure out how to at least get purple, appointments here and there.
Yeah, I love that where it's located. He mentions the warehouse. Right down the road is the Rosie the Riveter National Monument. There's a lot of World War II history right there when they had the war effort going on in that part of the bay, because that was such a big port during the war, I think. Is that right, Aaron?
That's
So
right. Right at the end of the pier, we're on the way to the end of the pier, but we're not on the end, is an old Ford plant. You can actually look it up. The Richmond Ford plant was built in the 30s and 40s during the Great Depression to employ people during a tough time in our economic history, and then turned to the war effort in World War II, and tanks would roll off that production line that eventually became the Escort Ford car in the 70s. And the Rosies and Wendy the Welders, who, all the men were at war, and so they really needed production people to build. And Rosie's and Wendy's were the ones who, took the call to action during the war and built a lot of the tanks and ships that were used in the theaters of war. And that history is beautiful. There's actually a very old Rosie. Obviously, that's not her name, but that's what they call the various workers, the Wendy's and the Rosies, who will tell you the stories about when she used to work. She was only 18 in the 40s when she used to work in those facilities, and they still do bus tours down there. And the old Ford plant has been refashioned for the green economy. So now there is a solar company that's there. There's a company that makes glass products for manufacturing. It's a wonderful tour, and our facility is similar. We made in our building before Hero Arts, there was a cannery and a freight train used to pull right up into the middle of the building. You can still see the tracks on the floor in order to get all the cans that basically distributed throughout the West Coast. And apparently there was a botulism scare in the 40s, and our building was where all the canned goods for the U.S. were actually produced for a 3-week period. You can imagine just one building, one facility given all the canned fruits and vegetables. And we've honored that. We have a very manufacturing oriented. We've left all the open skylights. We've left the kind of the floors the way that they are, and we've just upgraded the manufacturing for our uses, but still preserving the historic cannery building that we're in.
People are asking where you're at. So Hero Arts is in Richmond, California, which is kind of across the bay from San Francisco. So out in that area. And they're asking if there's tours of the warehouse. I will say when we do an event at the warehouse, like if I get to go out and do another class and you guys come, I always rope Aaron into doing tours of the facility. And you can just imagine from watching here today, he's a great storyteller and a great guide. He is proud of the old rubber presses and everything else at the warehouse. So.
And I think that differentiates Hero Arts from a lot of our competitors. And I love this industry because there are so many wonderful companies that make stamps and stamp products. I know many personally, like Gina is a good friend of mine, Greg from Rockin is a good friend, Jennifer has worked to support Hero Arts for many, many decades. So it is one big family. That I will say though, in comparing, we are different in that we actually manufacture. Very few companies do kind of the whole range of the things that we do. So we manufacture woodblock stamps, we manufacture cling stamps, we manufacture stencils, and we source locally whatever we can't make ourselves, inks, stencils, clear, and many paper products, etc. And that's something I'm very proud of. So we do come from the manufacturing back end of the way that this industry used to be, as well as serving independent stores. And it's wonderful to talk with someone like Greg from Concord and Ninth, because he's like, "You make stuff? Oh my God, that is so cool! I want to make stuff."
Greg just designs amazing stamps.
He does. Greg is an awesome designer, a great ambassador for our industry, wonderful company, and yeah, he wants to make stuff. When he came and saw what we do, because he's like, "I want to do this stuff. I don't make
that." So I just need to shout out my Georgia peeps here in the comments. I'm seeing people from Buford and Warner Robins and Helen, and I think I saw another, Lilburn. I'm in Marietta, outside of Atlanta, those of you who are asking. So we'll have to have I joked on Jen Shirkus's live the other day that I need to start doing a Georgia peach card making event here. And it sounds like a lot of Hero Arts fans in the comments would come to my event if I ever did that. So I might have to try that. And Mindy is really pulling for a visit to Hero Arts. I think we need to do a creative team bonding event at Hero Arts as well. Alina in Milton, my fellow creative team member, Alina Kraus, is actually nearby in Georgia. So actually I have some of her cards here that I'm going to show. And I said, "Alina, I need more cards. Can I come to your house and get yours?" And she said, "Sure." So it's great having somebody on our creative team here, local in Georgia as well. Thalia's in Cherokee County. Yeah, there's lots of Georgians watching today. So anything else? I mean, we've been talking for almost an hour now and I haven't even shown you guys the release. That's kind of funny, but we could talk to Aaron all day, I think. Oh, Michelle wants to come from Australia. So I think we do need to just go through the release so you guys can see what awesome products we have for October. And I think I'm going to let Aaron go and get back to running the company while I talk about the products. So I don't think there's anything. I'm seeing a lot of people mention Florida. Again, our hearts go out to everybody impacted by Hurricane Ian. I can't even believe how horrible that storm has been. I'm in Georgia, so I'm nearby. I really understand. So our hearts go out to all of you who are mentioning that. But yeah, so everybody's saying thank you, Aaron. So I will say goodbye to you, I think, and I will move over to my other camera and start going through the release if you guys are good with that. All right. So go back and watch the comments later, Aaron, but go ahead and have your last words here.
I will. I definitely will. This is the first time I've done a live with Libby, and so the comments are up here. So it's very hard for me to see both, just because I'll get that worked out next time, so I can read all the comments live while you guys state them. So I'm sorry if I've missed anything, and I will definitely go back and look at them. And I just want to thank all of you for kind of your support, being here today. Like I said about community, we're here as a company, and we really appreciate all of you. Without you, kind of none of this inspiration really would be worthwhile. And so with you involved and contributing as creative team members, as retail stores, as stampers, as fans, as just wanting to be a part of the community. It's wonderful, and I just want to thank all of you. And just one note on Florida, we are doing a drive to give donations, help in a small way as we can. And so watch for that announcement, because I do think it's devastating. And it's a great example of when our community needs support, we're there to support them. Not just Hero Arts, but all of us. And I think that is kind of why this company and this industry and all of you really shine and make this community what it is. So thank all of you. Great seeing you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of your day. Okay, guys, so let's get into this. I want to go ahead and show you again our kit. Remember, that's what we were, oops, that's the wrong slide. There we go. So let me just make sure you guys are getting in your final things here. Yeah, you're welcome for sharing. Okay, so anyway, this is our kit. And I hope you guys enjoyed that talk with Aaron. He's really amazing, amazing human being and great to work for. And so thankful. So, all right, so here's the kit. It is a 6x8 clear set and a cling stamp, some paper, some glitter papers, a couple of ink cubes, and some coordinating dies. And I'm going to switch on over to my overhead camera. Oops, I did the wrong thing there. Hold on a second. I am not doing so well right now. Hold on a second here. Okay, there we go. The boss leaves and everything falls apart. Okay, so will this specialty paper be sold separately? Probably not. We don't usually do that with the kits, but if there's enough interest, maybe we will, I will say. And by the way, speaking of things being sold separately, I'm going to give a shout out to our rub-ons from September before I go into this kit. You all remember this was our rub-ons for September, and the die in the September kit matches this rub-on. And there was such an outcry of people hoping that we could have these rub-ons sold separately that they are now on our site. So if you already used up the rub-ons in your September kit and you're wanting more, they are on the website now just by themselves. Of course, order the whole kit for September. We do still have a few of that one left. And you get the die that can actually cut out this big image, which is really cool as well. Okay, so here are the stamps from the kit. We have these cute little elements in the kit. We have these messages: 'tis the season, Merry Christmas, sending holiday cheer and happy holidays. Some cute little people and critters that you can add, and you can build an entire scene with this. So it is a shadow silhouette stamp set. Here's an example from Daniel West using the different elements in it. But if you look at our blog today, we actually did a video. You guys, actually, before I keep talking too much, I just want to check in. Can you guys hear me okay when I'm over here? Because I'm a little farther from my computer, and I just want to make sure. So testing the sound. Can you guys hear me okay when I'm over here? Yep. Okay, I'll go with that. So on the blog today, Shannon did a video and a card where she takes this cute little image right here and stamps it in a light blue ink and then colors it with her Copics. And then on World Card Making Day on Saturday, I did a live that you could always go and watch the replay of, making this card. And what I did with this one is I used the ink that's in the kit. You'll get a cube, but this is my full-size pad of unicorn white pigment ink. And I stamped that on black cardstock, and then I used that as a base for kind of no-line coloring with my colored pencils over it. So if you are thinking, I don't like just shadow stamps, just silhouette stamps, there are things you can definitely do to add color to your card as well. Let's see here. Yeah, Shannon's card today is really pretty. Now the other ink, there's two white inks in the kit, which I know is really different, but I think it's fun. This is our Sea Salt Reactive Ink, and you'll get a cube of this as well. And so this is a reactive ink, and this is a pigment ink, and they are different. They are used differently. And we're giving you a great opportunity to test them out and see what you think of the two different kinds of inks. And so what I did with the Sea Salt Reactive Ink is on the bottom here. On the video I showed, I first watercolored with it, which you can, but then you can also ink blend it on, and it makes a really nice smooth finish. If you have other colors of reactive ink and you don't yet have your sea salt, you can smush them down both together on a craft mat or something, and then kind of blend them together, and it makes more of a pastel looking color for your pigment, your reactive inks. Yeah, I can't see my messages or the comments as well from where I'm at right now with my different setups. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything important. All right, and then there are the cardstocks that are in the kit as well. I don't actually have those with me to show you. We mentioned earlier on the live, the wonderful thing right now in this, the dies that come in this kit, there are dies to cut out the messages. So the Merry Christmas has a die, the Sending Holiday Cheer, the Happy Holidays, and the 'Tis the Season. So there's an example of the Happy Holidays die. Just fits right around there, and I use that to cut out my Merry Christmas on this card. So going through more of the cards. The first ones are from Daniel. Oh, I didn't show you the cling stamp. I don't think I have it right here with me. No, I used it on the weekend. I didn't put it back with my kit, but it's a A2 size red rubber cling stamp. And Daniel used it on this card just over here, partially inked it up and white embossed it. That's actually white embossing. So you can see it doesn't have to just be snow with your little scenes that you're going to create. It's a great universal background stamp to use. Here's another one from Daniel. He was in the blue theme of this kit, which I guess I forgive him for not using purple because the blue is awfully pretty. He put a little bit of white embossing there on top of his North Pole sign, which is really cute. And then he put some glitter embossing, sparkle embossing on that little tree right there. Some great details. On this card, this is still Daniel. He white embossed the little snow, and then he die cut around the top of that village to pop it up a little and add it on there. Now here are the cards that I went and picked up from Melina. I thought I would be picking up maybe one card from her. This was one that she shared during the countdown, which is really cute. She did the purple. I just realized, go Alina. I love her blended sky in the background. It's beautiful. And then her white embossing with the snow and all these details. You can see she had just a tiny bit of color to her rooftop right there. And on the sign, just really pretty. And then actually some white glitter paper hiding down in there as well. So I thought, okay, I'll go get one card from Alina and that'll be great. But then she's like, I made more. so she's my little rock star. I love having her nearby. So this is a great card using the main village scene. And, we were inspired by the North Pole. But if you look at that, you can see that it doesn't have to be the North Pole. It could be any kind of northern town in the snow, kind of a Scandinavian or Russian look maybe to it. Really cute. Here's one where she masked off a circle to make a moon and then ink blended and then just simple black stamping on the rest with the Santa and his reindeer going over the moon. This is another great idea to do a reverse mask and then just blend in the inside of your card. A nice gradient of color to create your beautiful sky. And then just simply, she actually embossed that. If you could feel it, it has some texture to it. You could emboss it or just black stamp and do the little die cutting. And it makes a really quick and easy card if you love ink blending. Love this one where she cut out a circle from a panel and then kind of tucked her village down in there. There's the little, I love that stamp in here that has the shooting star and the little trail of stars that just, it's going across the sky there. Really cute. Here's one where she embossed in white and she, her ink blending is in reactive ink. I can tell because she did a little splattering of water on there to react with the ink. And this one's so pretty. This is the same idea that she had on the other card. And this time her masking, she did a blue gradient for her sky. It's really pretty. Fabulous. So when you get your kit this month, you will see on the backer card that comes with it, we actually put a card idea, which this doesn't completely fit on my screen, but it's this card. It's actually a card that I made. I made a little trifold card, so it opens like this and it opens like that, and then there's the card, the scene in there. For this one, I used the sea salt ink. I put it onto an acrylic block and I just flicked it on there. And that's my card. So we have available, if you want to have the idea sheet with the supplies and instructions and everything on how to make this card, it's available on our blog post that we shared yesterday on the Hero Arts blog. So you can either download it, and either view it on your computer or device, or you can print it out to refer to. So really fun to have an idea just to get you started with this kit. So that's available. And we always have our My Monthly Hero MMH make-alongs. So this coming Sunday, actually, we're having the make-along for the September kit. And it'll be Shannon and Kelly Taylor from our creative team who will be teaching this month. So then the Sunday after next month's release, which I don't have the date in front of me, but I think it is the 13th probably of November, we'll be doing a make along for this kit. So if you want to have like a free mini class with 2 card ideas, then get yourself this kit and then watch for that announcement and you'll be able to join us. For that make along, I will be teaching this card since we already have this one here. So if you're waiting to make it, you can make it with me that day. And then I think it'll be Shannon making the other card, and I'll have her go first so that if you've already made this card, you don't have to sit through me making it. But that's coming up as well. And so that's the kit. Get the kit. This one's selling super fast. So if you are loving this kit and you're loving all the ideas that I just showed you with this kit, so many cards here from Daniel and Alina and myself, make sure that you order it before it's sold out because I don't want you to be sad. It is going fast. All right. And now I'm going to show you the add-ons. So every month we have add-ons as well, like we mentioned with Aaron, of products that are for the same theme as our release, which this time is the North Pole. And I'm going to start with a stamp. Let's see. This one is called Holiday Sentiment Strips. There we go. Make sure I'm on camera. And I love that it has all these messages that you can stamp together as a tree. But then we also have this fabulous die, which is called Sentiment Strips Fancy Die. And so what you can do, like I mentioned, you can just stamp it as a tree. And I stamped out several of them here on different colors. I didn't get rid of my powder there yet. And you can use that on a card. Here's an example of it on a card. And actually, she did already cut that as well. This is from Jane Nelson. But you can take your die and you can cut them into little strips. And so here's a little baggie I have of some of the strips that I've cut already that I'll use on cards. And so, I have all these that I just stamped ahead of time. I'm going to go and die cut them all, and I'll have lots of messages in different colors. So it's really, really handy. And you can imagine if we're going to have this die out there, there's a good chance that this won't be the only stamp set that is ever made to go with it, right? So if you get this die, you're going to keep an eye out for future stamp sets that work with it, I would say. Let's see. Tammy's giving a reminder. Make sure you're commenting because that's how at the end of this live, we'll pick a winner to win a gift card. All right. And then here again, this is from Jane. She stamped them all, kept the tree shape, but she also cut them all separately and paper pieced it with all those beautiful colors of cardstock. Here is one from Jane where she used our Finch from our holiday release and didn't use the stamp set at all, but she just used that die to cut these beautiful strips of colored cardstock to make like a nice color blocked section of her card. This one is from Alina, and she used a stencil that we'll get to in a minute, but she did it right on top of, I don't know if she stenciled all the different pieces of paper and then cut them, or if she stenciled once she already put them back together, but it looks like it's stenciled probably with our white ink that you're getting in the kit. So that's a great idea for that as well. And then she used a little Merry Christmas there. So I love those 2 new products. I'm very excited about it. And the other thing to point out about this is there's also these cute little stripes that you could put on your strips that you cut out, decorative, and then all these other little icons that you can use to jazz up your projects, little holly leaves and snowflakes and ornaments and presents and all kinds of things. Okay, moving on to the next stamp set. This one is called North Pole Express Bundle. Is that the right name? I think that is the wrong name. I must have put it in the wrong thing. That is the Merry Rockin' Horse. Sorry about that. Okay, I shouldn't look at the wrong info. I should tell you the right info. Let me find it here. Yeah, this one is called Merry Rockin' Horse. And that's what it looks like. It's this cute little rocking horse with gifts and a tree underneath, a teddy bear that's so adorable, blocks and different toys and instruments. And it has a gift from me to you, happiness and joy. To and From, Have a Merry Christmas, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. And there are coordinating dies as well. You can either buy this as a bundle with the two things together, or you can get the stamp set separately. But starting with a couple releases ago, we no longer sell the dies separately. So if you want to have the dies, make sure to buy it together as a bundle. You won't be able to get those separately. Okay. And here is a sample card with this one from Jane Nelson. And she did that tree of messages in the background and then die cut and colored all those cute little images from the Rockin' Merry Rockin' Horse. My goodness, I can't remember the name of that set for some reason. All right, this one is called Penguin something. Cozy Penguin, and he is so adorable. This little penguin has, first of all, he's adorable on his own, but you can dress him up with a sweater, a hat, some muffs, a scarf. There's warm wishes, happy holidays, have a cozy Christmas. Again, To and From, we were in a tag mood with these, I think. For you, with love, and you're the coolest. Just super cute. And then here is a card from Jane using that adorable little penguin. So she die cut the pieces and then stacked them together. And then she put it on a tag on her card. I'll get to this background stencil in a minute, so I'll keep that aside so we can talk about it. And again, there are coordinating dies if you do it as a bundle, or you can buy the stamp set on their own. This one is called North Pole Express. And so this one has the cute little train cars, the engine and the two cars with a penguin and an elf and a snowman driving. And then there's a little caboose full of presents, although any of them could be the caboose, honestly, but that just says caboose to me. There's a cute little Christmas tree, some snowflakes, and some presents. Wishing you all the magic of Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Season's greetings and happy holidays. And again, dies if you want them, or just buy it together as a bundle, or buy the stamp set separately. And a card from Jane Nelson using that. Isn't that adorable? So sweet. She likes to color with colored pencils. She's really a master at colored pencil coloring. And I just love her coloring on all these stamp sets. So cute. And I love how she did the snowflakes on red. I really wouldn't have ever thought, I don't think, to do red. I usually do maybe blue or white or something for snowflakes. So that's really cute. I just heard a person upstairs. One of my kids is home from school and they just ran very heavily across the floor. I don't know if you guys could hear that. All right, now let's get into some of the really awesome dies in this release. So this first one is called Gingerbread House Fancy Die. And I love that it has separate elements that you can piece together. So there's the roof that you could do from white, and then the house. This little candy piece, it makes 4 candies all together that you can line the roof with, and then a separate candy cane, little gingerbread man, and a tree. So really cute houses have been made with this one from all of our artists that I love. And here's one from Jane Nelson. And she didn't actually put the candy along her roof, but I've seen lots of other examples where they did. So super cute. And I love the little bit of glitter sparkle lacquer pen that she put along her snow on there to really make it shine and be cute. And some little enamel dots really work well as well. This little guy is Small Penguin Tag Fancy Die. He has a little loop at the top, so you can make him into a tag that you put on gifts or decorate with. But you could also just lop off that tag or that loop if you don't want him to be a tag. But he's just waving hi to us. Really cute. And here he is from Jane. So just imagine that hanging on some of your gifts. It would be so cute. So adorable. All right, now this one I absolutely love. I'm a sucker for snow globes. I love every snow globe we ever make. And this one's no exception. This one's called Snow Globe Window Fancy Die. And it is a 2-piece die. So there's the inner part and the outer. So if you use both dies together, the frame die will make it so that you have a standalone snow globe that you can put onto something else. If you only use the inner part, then it's going to kind of just cut into your panel, if that makes sense at all. So here's an example from Jane Nelson where she cut out the entire thing. So she used the blue with the outer frame die, and then she used the inner pieces to paper and piece the rest of it. And then she used the tree from one of the other stamp sets. I think it was from this one with the train, and combined it. And she used one of her message strips from the message strip set in the dies. Okay. And then another cute die set. There's so many cute fancy dies in this release. I just love them all. This one's Santa's Sleigh fancy die. So look at the great pieces we have here. There's a holly and some little berries. There's a bow and a gift. The bow can be used separately to decorate the sleigh, but you can also put it with the gift to make a present. There's this cute little tree as well. And here is a card from Jane where all that came together. So you can see the berries on all those little holly leaves. And I love the look of these holly leaves. They're a little bit different. They're more like kind of swept down together. And I really love the look of them. And I love the ornate detail on the what do you call those on the sleigh? I'm trying to blank, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, the globe, snow globe. Nicole Spohr in our hop did an amazing card with this. So make sure and check it out if you haven't already. And she used the gingerbread house, I do believe. Okay. Rails of the sleigh. Is that right? Runners, blades. Yeah, you guys know what I mean, though. All right, here's another one from Jane using the trees that were part of that sleigh set. And she also used on her background a really simple but really useful stencil that I'm very much in love with. And this stencil is called Sprinkled Dot Stencil. You can see that it's all kinds of dots. They're not just uniform. I love how they're kind of all different shapes. Well, not different sizes of oval and circle openings. And so here on this card by Jane, she took it with our glitter hero paste, and then she tinted the paste with some, let me see if she used re-inker. It says Blue Hawaii Splash and Pool Party inks. So the way you can tint your hero paste is you could put a little bit out on a craft sheet and then squish down your pad or use the re-inker, and you just kind of take your palette knife and mix them together, if that makes sense. And that's how you can color the glitter paste to be any color that you want. And so I just love how she put that through her stencil. And then I had mentioned on this one that we'd be seeing the stencil as well. So here she just used the glitter hero paste on her blue background. And it does look like snow, but you can imagine you can have it be any kind of dots on any background where it's not even a winter scene at all. So it's really a useful stencil. And then this stencil is super cute as well. This one's Holiday Pattern Stencil. And so you could, try to strategically color them in with different colors. You can just make it all one color. There are little trees here, the cutouts from the trees we left in, so you can use those as masks on a card as well. I think there's 3 of them that come in, the cutouts or the pop-outs from those. And here is a card from Jane where she did green glitter paste this time. Let me just look at this and make sure. Oh yeah, okay. At first I didn't see the glitter paste on there, but yeah, it's on her supply list. And then she used that same tree again from the train set, and I just love how that looks when it's the tinted glitter paste on there. If you didn't want to tint the paste, you could also ink blend with the stencil with green and then put the stencil right on top of that and do glitter paste straight up through on top of your ink blended color. Okay. Yes, thank you to Jane. Jane is not on, she doesn't have a blog. She's not on social media as much, but she makes so many great cards for our website and for our blog posts. And we're very thankful to Jane Nelson. She's a great artist. And here is our last item in this release. This is a really fun background stamp that I love. This is called Nutcracker Bold Prints. You can see the detail of the Nutcracker in here. There's the ballerinas, the Nutcrackers, bugle and a drum, the Mouse King, just holly and greenery and candies. So many fun things. I have a tradition with my daughter. We go to see the Nutcracker Ballet every single holiday season. We've seen tons of different productions, from the amazing Atlanta Ballet to smaller local productions. And so it's just the Nutcracker is a special thing for us. And so I just love this background so much. I think I need to go back and scrapbook some of our outings and use this on my pages. And here's a couple of cards. This one is from Jane Nelson. So you can really see the what the images look like when they're stamped on here. And she used, let's see here, unicorn white. So the unicorn white ink cube that's coming in your kit, you can see how beautifully it stamps with this. And on this one from Alina, I think she used gold glitter. Oh no, this one's from Daniel. I'm so sorry, Daniel. Daniel West made this one, not Alina. And I think he used the gold glitter embossing powder for his stamping on there. Okay. Oh, somebody mentioned, or Tammy mentioned it'd be great wrapping paper. That'd be fun. So going backwards, back through the things that I've shown, we have the Nutcracker background, 2 really fabulous stencils. Am I on the camera? There we go. We had our sleigh, our snow globe. I'm hearing such an echo, and I apologize if you guys can hear that as well. Not only is it echo, but it's very much delayed, so it's driving me a little crazy. Okay, the penguin tag, the gingerbread house, the train. Oops, my pile's going crazy. Here's the penguin set, the Merry Rockin' Horse, and then of course our very cool message strip stamp set and die. And I just love that it's a shape that you can use. It's not just a rectangle of messages. I love how they did that. It's so much fun. And some ideas for using those products. And again, my little, well, I lost it. Never mind. Oh, here it is. My little baggie of my message strips that are all ready to go whenever I'm ready to make a card with them. Okay, push that aside and let's back again to our main kit. All these great cards with the main kit. And I have one other thing to mention actually before I stop this. But again, this kit is doing really well. It's going to be sold out soon. So if you love it, make sure that you pick it up. Lots of great inspiration from our team who did a blog hop on yesterday. Make sure to go back and check out that hop. So many great ideas in there. We're going to have a make along with this kit coming up in November. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention really quick before you go is that we do now have some digital downloads as well. So if you like using digital products, we have a really cute, it's a set of, I'm drawing a blank on how I'm trying to talk here. It's called like 12 by 12 papers, like pattern papers, but you obviously can print it any size. I don't have a 12 by 12 printer. I just print it as 8.5 by 11. And I made this card with it. So the pink is on the background. It's kind of covered with vellum, but then I cut out the little images, and the digital file comes with lots of different colors of paper, even a rainbow paper. So it's really cute. So that's one thing that we have. We also have a printable file to just make a really simple, cute little card. And so it's printed on both the front and the back. And here I took it on more of a heavy cardstock, and I cut out some of the little extra images and added them popped up on my snowman. And then here I took that same paper that is printed on that download card, and I used it as a background paper on my card, and I made a little card with the snow globe and the penguin. So that's another option that we have this time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch back to me now that we've gone through all the products. Hello again. So any questions before I go? Yeah, that was a lot of products, a lot of information. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, I need to pick our winner, don't I? I've been live for so long, my brain is just going blank here. So get your last comments in so that we can pick our winner. Make sure you are commenting, get your last words in here so you're in our running for our giveaway of a gift card. And I hope you guys enjoyed this live. If you joined late, Aaron, our CEO and owner of Hero Arts, was here at the beginning, and it was really great talking to him. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So if you missed it, go back and watch from the beginning, and get your kits and have fun playing with them. Join us this Sunday for our make along with the September kit. If you want to get the rub-ons, we're now selling those as by themselves if you need more of these great rub-ons from September. And of course, let us know if you love the rub-on idea, because I'm pulling for us to make more rub-ons. I think it'd be really fun. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner now. And it is Pamela Sertich. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, Pamela, but you are our winner this time. So you will email info@heroarts.com and just let them know that you are our winner. And thank you guys so much for being here. We do this every month, the day after the kit release. So join us in the future as we go through the kits. We don't always have Aaron here, and our lives aren't always this long. This is a really long one, but I appreciate those of you who've been here the entire time. And I hope you are loving this month's release. I think it's fantastic. And join our stamp along if you haven't already registered for that. That's coming up in November. You can find that on our website. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.